one game many people felt they were could and should have been caught at. Chelsea had no, like my own club. Like if we had a striker, we would be doing very well. But I think Pochettino said that with all the chances we've missed and the chances we've created, we should be up there at the fourth place. People might find that a bit hard to believe. But if you saw Nicholas Jackson, he had three huge chances. I mean, we're not talking half chances here. We're talking anyone with a decent finish in them should be burying the three chances he got. He was played through one-on-one with the keeper. Seemed hesitant, didn't seem to know what to do. Went around the keeper, and sort of lost the angle. And even when he cut the ball back to the player running in, it was too short to see the player cleared it. Second one, good play by Gallagher, won the ball back, played him in through. Look, I think it's not a totally bad finish. We should score. Good save by the keeper. Ball goes out to the ball goes out near to the corner flag. I think it's Cole Palmer, of all people, Cole Palmer, who sets up so many players for Chelsea, and he must be wondering what they have to do to help this team to go further. Plays a good ball in, and Jackson again, literally in the same moment, delivered in about 10 seconds later. It heads it straight at the keeper. Anywhere else, it's a goal. And then, of course, players are getting tired. City aren't playing well. They're there for the taking. Chelsea just can't score. And then City, as they always do, Paul, to find a way. Ball down the left wing, cut back. Keeper gets a foot to it, rolls out to Bernardo Silva. Gugrea comes out trying to block it, and unfortunately, for a Chelsea point of view, he doesn't get enough in it, and it goes into the back of the net, 1-0, 84th minute, and pretty much game over. And City, like Pep said after the game, his players were absolutely tired. They weren't at the races at all. He said they hung on in there, to be honest with you. And if it wasn't Man City, it wasn't for the resolve, the champions that they are. Look, they won the treble last year. They felt they should have beaten Real Madrid. They lost out in penalties, and I think it showed you maybe the character of City and the lack of character of Chelsea in a way that they managed to get a 1-0 win and get to the cup final. Bernardo Silva, of course, who missed the penalty, who scored a goal, but had a shocker of a penalty in the penalty shootout, got the winner. They're now going rolling into the 25th of May now for the FA Cup final, and Chelsea is my own team. I remember here last week, Paul. I know it was before the game. You asked me for a prediction of the Chelsea game. I said Everton. I said probably 1-1 or 2-2 draw. Now that made me look a bit foolish since we won 6-0. But this is what I'm talking about. Like unless Cole Palmer is the one that gets on the end of the chances, there's no guarantee we're going to score. It's shocking as it is, but there's no guarantee we're going to score. He scored 4 goals Monday night. He scored 20 league goals. He's not even a striker. I think our striker Jackson's only got 9. And he's missed a handful of chances before that. So inconsistency at Chelsea is unbelievable.
And also, just before we move on, Noel, wasn't there some bit of a row with the match against Everton? There were 4 or 5-0 up, they got a penalty, and there were like 2 or 3 spoiled children fighting over an ice cream. I mean, that to me was terrible. That's no team fun, and that's absolute. I mean, I don't know what they can. Rubbish. How do you feel about that?
Rubbish, Paul. Absolute rubbish. I was watching and I couldn't believe it. I said, look, everyone knows Cole Palmer is the penalty taker. Unless he's off the pitch, there's no justification for him not to take. And he scored every single one of them. He scored 9 penalties. I actually thought he scored more, but he scored 9 penalties now in the Premier League. Why do Madueke and particularly Jackson think that they can just go and get the ball off him and take a penalty? Thankfully, Conor Gallagher these captain talked some sense into one of them. And you saw at the end where Gallagher gives the ball to Palmer, and Palmer actually pushes Jackson and said, "Get off! I'm the penalty taker. It's mine." He took the penalty, buried it, and they got 2 more after it. No, sorry, they got 1 more goal after it to make it 6-0. But of course, that riled up Pochettino. Look, I'm not Pochettino's biggest fan, as you would know. He's next Spurs man. We're not getting the results we need. But at the press conference, all the questions was about the penalty that was with the row. There was no questions about winning 6-0, having a good performance, no everything, and that really riled him up. And I can understand why. Because you've had a great performance, you win 6-0 in a game where, previous games, Paul, they drew 2-2 with Burnley at home, another relegation side, and Sheffield United away, they drew 2-2 as well. So there was no guarantee we're going to win that match, to be quite honest. And Everton are one of those teams that defend, and can hit you with a set piece. Thankfully, and that, for example, Everton had a guiltless chance in the first couple of minutes to make it 1-0, and somehow it was Beto who missed it. So it was a good performance and a good win. But sadly, all I would talk about was the penalty incident, and it just put a sour taste. And that result means we can win a trophy this year. And it looks like by the end of it now, Paul, we're not going to make Europe either. So that's a disaster of a season.
Yeah. Okay, the second semi-final went to penalties. Did it finish 3-3 after extra time? And then Man United won penalties. Is that correct?
They finished 3-3 on penalties. United won 4-2 on penalty in the penalty shootout. Look, Manchester United, fair enough, they're in the FA Cup final, but my God, they were very lucky near the end. Now, it'd be very hard to think that they're very lucky. People might say that's bizarre, particularly after 60 minutes. 58 minutes on the clock, Paul. Manchester United led the game 3-0. They scored 2 goals in the first half. McTominay and Maguire. Maguire had a free header and a free kick. Corner kick. And you think United are cruising, and then Bruno Fernandes, the captain, made it 3-0. But you talk to any Manchester United fan, they gave up so many chances in every game. It was unbelievable. Sims got a goal on the 70th minute. And that seemed to rattle United completely. Because I think
Coventry on the championship team, haven't they?
Coventry on the championship team. And Manchester United, look, 3-0 up against the championship side. Manchester United should be doing what we're doing. And once Coventry got a bit of confidence, got a bit of belief, I suppose it's probably easier to play at 3-0 down than.
Yeah, it's very easy to play 3-0 down, yeah.
3-0 down, but once Coventry smelt a little bit of blood, United couldn't cope with them. They got the second goal now. The second goal was a bit of a fluke. Took a wicked deflection, looped up into the air and went into the net. But Manchester United, I just don't know. Like a lot of people think actually that I think they're sixth. Many people seem to, and I know it's just our rival fans or what, but many people think they're getting away with it this year in terms of sixth place. They should be nearly lower. I mean, there's only 3 points between ourselves and United. Chelsea are down in ninth. I mean, a lot of people think that United could be finished as low as ninth if they keep the form the way they're going. And now they got a penalty. Now the penalty, I don't know if we're going to come on to the Forest as handballs and all that stuff, but
yeah,
the handball that we saw that United got given against them was similar to the one that Everton got away with yesterday in the league game. So that many people just don't understand what is the handball rule, because one ref says it's handball and VAR backs him up, and in another game it's not given. So that's what drives football fans nuts.
No, I have a theory actually, and again, this is just my own personal theory, and as you know, I can go off on tangents at times. I think they're doing this deliberately to create controversy, to get people talking about it. It's no longer a sport; it's entertainment. Okay, and this the FA Cup, the Premiership, the Champions League. It's not just sport; it's entertainment. It's a media business. So what they're doing. This is my own personal opinion. I have no evidence. It's just an opinion that they're doing these things deliberately, because they know people will go mad in social media. That'll be the talking points, and it's almost like entertainment. That's my personal opinion now. That they're bringing in this technology. I've always been against it. They're using it whichever way they want to use it, doing completely contradictory things. People are going mad in social media, but it's traction in social media. People are talking about it, and I think it's entertainment. What do you think?
I don't know, but I just referees are a bit. There's different opinions about referees. There's no consistency. Maybe I take a point. Look, it does start to get people talking. It does on social media. Controversy follows.
Talk Monday. The game is on the weekend, no, but they'll be talking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There's a podcast about it. Do you know what I mean? It keeps it going to next weekend. That's just my own personal drive on.
Yeah, maybe, Paul. I don't know. No, just get back to the penalty. Look, I think the ball, like people say, the ball hand is away from his body. Like you can't chop off your hand. Like, I find that phrase very weird. His hand is away from his side. Maybe you could say, like to be fair, he's trying to block the ball, and it's a bit unfortunate for him. Look, it probably is a penalty in this day and age. But a couple of years ago, that wouldn't have been given. But get back to the penalty, very well taken by, I think his name was Wright. And very well taken, 3-3, and like in extra time, Coventry hit the bar. They had one massive breakaway, and he sort of scuffed it. And I think Bruno Fernandes hit the bar as well. So a very entertaining game. Could have gone either way, Paul. I think Coventry had energy. Paul Coventry had better chances in extra time, and it's just a sickener that the goal that VAR chalked off. Now, I've always said that with VAR that it's literally a toenail. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, I find that when they draw the lines, that they can draw the lines
any way they want.
Any which way they want. Like, because for example, certain camera angles might show that he's just on. Certain camera angles might say he's just off. It's not like I just find that moment was taken away from commentary. A team in the championship, against all the odds, against the billionaire club of Manchester United, and commentary.
But Noel, I go back again, Noel. Is it more beneficial to the media to have Manchester United, Man City in the final?
It is. Like there's no guarantee about that. They'll have more viewers. There'll be more build up. It'll be Pep versus Ten Hag, but Ten Hag trying to save his job. It's Manchester Derby.
A soap opera. It's basically a soap opera, and there are 3 or 4 plot lines. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and like don't forget, Paul. A lot of the lower league clubs are raging, and even non-league. They've taken away the replays for the FA Cup for next season. So that means, for example, if a Premier League club doesn't play well away from home in a game, the match will be decided there and then by penalties or extra time. So, for example, if say Chelsea or Liverpool played a lower league club, say League Two, for example, and drew 1-1, that game won't be brought back to Anfield. It'll be played on
that night. And of course, the big thing there is money.
The money.
If we say Manchester United are at home to a non-league club or away to a non-league club, and it finishes level, when the game comes back to Old Trafford, the gates receipts, I believe, are split fairly evenly. Yeah. So the lower division club will get a big ball of money in a replay. It has to go back to the other team's home ground, but that's been taken away now. It's about money.
Yeah, it is, and like I saw on the BBC there. I think it was someone from Tremor. She was saying, I think she's the vice chair. She said, "Look, no non-league club or league club puts in a budget for an FA Cup run. You're not guaranteed every year. But my God, when it does happen, it's such a help for that club. And don't forget, this is the grassroots of English football, British football. The FA Cup was founded by the fans, if I'm not mistaken, from the clubs. It's like I find that the lower league clubs still love the FA Cup because obviously for that particular reason, it's a day out to the big clubs in the Premier League or even in the Championship when you consider lower league, non-league clubs. Like the Mainstone, there was a game, I think they beat Ipswich Town in the FA Cup. I mean, that was brilliant for them. I know I didn't go to the replay, but it was brilliant for them. And they kept the cup run from. And obviously some players be local heroes now and stuff like that. That was the essence of English football for years, the FA Cup. It was bigger than the league. Like you go back to the 70s and 80s, there was a whole build up at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning on ITV and BBC. It was only live game, probably one live game they had all year, and that's why people love it so much. The fans love it so much. But that moment was taken away from commentary there yesterday because of a VAR decision. Look, probably just off a toenail off, Paul, but Mark Robbins was, he said ridiculous.
Manchester United won a penalty, so you were Manchester United and Man City final. Just the last minute or two, Noel. There was a league match yesterday. Everton were at home to Nottingham Forest. Everton won 2-0. Deserved to win because Forest can't defend, as we said before on numerous occasions. But just after the match, Nottingham Forest had a couple of penalty calls, some poor decisions. But after the match, the official Twitter account, which is the official Twitter account of Nottingham Forest, put up some, I haven't got it on screen, but basically in all words, called the FA, I don't know what I'm trying to see now, but called it out, this was unfair and they're going to take some action. To me, it's a soap opera. That's what people were talking about. To me, it was, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Paul, there's like 3 penalty decisions, 3 guilty, obvious penalties to them now. That had to come from the top, Paul. There's no way an administration on Twitter or X, as it's called now, could put out a statement like that without being cleared by the top.
And it was right after the game, right after the night.
Right after the game. So there's no way that could have been approved by the boards and owners and stuff like that. And look, bad decisions. Look, there were bad decisions, but definitely for one of them in the Hudson-Odoi, I thought was cleaned out a certain penalty. Now, I thought maybe the handball